How does stewardship fit in the bigger picture of governance?
Stewardship is nothing but responsible investment.
What is in it for me?
The big investment houses have now started employing professional stewards within the organization. So there comes the opportunity for employment for our members. Also, we have also seen that the big investment houses are also now trying to engage professional stewardship consultants. So there our role as a practicing company secretary comes into play. A company secretary firm can become, a turnaround specialist for a business.
Wow.
You can take a business from some say thousands ranks to the top 10 ranks also. It has happened. It's a collective effort. So this is where a practicing company secretary brings in a lot of value addition to the business. So here is a big ticket consultant. Why can't a company secretary be a climate consultant?
Hello everyone. I, CS Dr. Pooja Rahi, welcome you all to another session of the ICSI Pulse. Think governance, think ICSI. And today, for this session on stewardship, we have with us CS Asish Mohan, Secretary ICSI. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
The topic for today that we have is stewardship. And the concept for me, the term steward, was taught to me in terms of ships, boats, and how they were rowed. Now, it'll be a bit off on my part to ask, but is ICSI teaching how to row boats?
Well, Pooja, thank you for having me here. Here we don't teach how to row the boats and ships, but yes, stewardship, here we mean about the investor stewardship. Investor stewardship is all related to the fiduciary duty an investor carries for carrying out his entrusted power in making sure the investments are properly done, and his role, his fiduciary duty to the beneficiaries as a whole. So that's what all the stewardship is about, and it is about investor stewardship.
So in that sense, like you could be an investor, I could be an investor, we all are what we qualify as retail investors. In that sense, does stewardship have any relationship to each one of us, or is it for somebody as a larger picture?
Pooja, this stewardship concept got this momentum because, there was when you look back in 2008, there was a global financial crisis also.
Indeed.
So what used to happen is that the investors, the primary reason which was later on found out by the investors was just maybe they were not, they were very passive investors, or they were looking at short-term benefits. So that was one of the major cause for the financial crisis. So from those days onwards, the stewardship concept has gained momentum. Stewardship here means the asset owners, the investors, who are the responsible people for the beneficiaries, who take the money, collect money from the beneficiaries, and they do the proper investments in different investment houses. So that is where the role of stewards come in, and it is primarily for the big investors. And when you see the global markets today, as of today, some reports are saying that around 300 trillion US dollars is the global investment level as on date. And the investments are spread across the world. It's a global investor base now. Beneficiaries are spread across the world. And generally the tendency has been that shareholders generally look for short-term benefits rather than being part of the entire management of the company or the business of the company. So stewardship is something which looks at being with the company, taking it along, and fulfilling the promises and returning the returns on the investments to the beneficiaries.
So that brings me to my next question. As I introduced, think governance, think ICSI. How does stewardship fit in the bigger picture of governance?
Today, the journey of stewardship has become very, very fascinating because it has got merged with the principles of sustainability, ESG for that matter. So when we say about governance, like the role of stewards are the stewards, the big investment houses, either can have their own professional recruited stewards, professionals who in-house manage these things, or they also try to get services from the outside agencies also. What they do is that they constantly get engaged with the companies in which they invest. For example, they engage with the board of directors, they engage with the shareholders, they engage with the customers, the suppliers, the workforce, the employees, the society at large. So in a way, they make sure that the entire governance system in the organization is built properly, so that the businesses delivers on sustainable principles. And today, every investment is also analyzed on the basis of ESG parameters also. So how the business is putting in its efforts to make sure that the sustainable principles are followed, how the present resources are being used in a way that the interests of future generations are kept in mind. So these principles are being also followed at a very high level, and that's how the stewardship principle actually works.
Okay. So, before I move forward, so this is the publication
Yes.
that ICSI has brought out.
We released it
ICSI
last year at Abu Dhabi in our international conference.
Okay, so ICSI Guiding Principles on Stewardship. I would like to know more.
ICSI Guiding Principles on Stewardship is again a stewardship principles which we have framed for the global investors. So it is like we are looking this as a jurisdiction agnostic, or as a sector agnostic. It can be followed across the world at maybe any jurisdiction. We have seen that there are numerous codes available. Like in India, we have some regulators who have already come out with this code. But we may be the first institution as such who has come out with this principles. And across the world, we have seen this stewardship codes in UK and other countries also. So basically, what we try to do here is, we being the largest governance professionals body in the world, it is our prime responsibility today also to make sure that the investments which are flowing into this country are properly dealt with. We are looking at the concept of Viksit Bharat, that's developed India by 2047. So there's a large pool of funding which is going to come into India, and investments are being done. So we have to make sure that the investments are done responsibly. Stewardship is nothing but responsible investment. So responsible investment here means that the sustainable principles are being followed, the ESG principles are being followed, the interests of future generations are also kept in mind while the investment decisions are being taken. So it's a collective effort that both your return on your equity as well as your ESG goals are also being met.
There are two sets of principles, one for the manufacturers and the other one for the service providers. How are they any different from each other?
No, it is not about just manufacturers. It is first part is for the investors, for the investee companies,
Okay.
the investors primarily.
Okay.
So the major investors, they will carry out the stewardship principles, and they will give their reports to the beneficiaries.
Okay.
The second part comprises of the service providers. There are various service providers like the proxy advisories. There is the intermediaries, other intermediaries whose services are being also used by the investment houses. The second part of the report goes for those service providers.
Okay, so that is how we differentiate
How
between
we differentiate between the two.
the principal
Principle A
set.
and Principle B
yes,
part of
principle A and B part of it. So, like you just said, reporting framework. So, what is it exactly?
it. We have seen various reports from the regulators, some of the regulators, and also across the world I have also seen some other reports, but they are sometimes sector specific. As I said earlier, our reports can be applied globally. There is no jurisdiction restriction, or there is not even a sector restriction. It can be applied universally. So we have tried, and we have also tried to capture the emerging practices which are coming in, and we have given space for that also. Today, as on date, these stewardship reports are not mandatory, But I am seeing days are not far that at a point of time these entire global reporting processes will converge, and there would be a standard reporting format which will emerge out of it. And at the end of the day, it is the investors who are putting in a lot of money, but then it is not just about profit, it's about how the business is run properly, governed also. And it's also about the engagement process, how the investor is engaging with the company. It is not just like, for example, a portfolio manager will just cherry pick some portfolios and do the investment. It is not portfolio investment. It is here the steward is being part of the business. He is getting engaged himself with the leadership of the company. He is getting engaged with the shareholders. He gets engaged with the other stakeholders, say the customers, suppliers, the employers, the workforce. So many places we have seen that somewhere the workforce may be disturbed, somewhere the pollution issues may be there. So it is the steward's role to make sure that he sets in a process of engagement of various stakeholders, and the reporting process is done back. So here he tries first to help the company improve their performance and report it back. So the beneficiary, who is the real investor behind the scene, will ultimately see that his investments are properly parked in.
What is in it for me?
That's a very good question, because anything we do, we have our members in our mind when we put up any new initiative. So it's why I said this is a very good question, because you see, as I started off, the stewardship stewardship principles have started slowly developing all across the world now. In India also, we'll see this happening in the next few years. The big investment houses have now started employing professional stewards within the organization. So there comes the opportunity for employment for our members. Also, we have also seen that the big investment houses are also now trying to engage professional stewardship consultants. So there our role as a practicing company secretary comes into play.
Independent
professionals. So suppose a particular company, say big company secretary firm, is being engaged by a big investment house to be the professional, governance professional to work for them, to engage with the investee company and report it back. So this is where the entire work for a practicing company secretary firm will come into picture. And it's a big ticket work. For example, say one big investee company, it will be a huge work, because it is not about one small assignment. It will be an assignment which will be running for 2 to 5 years. A company secretary firm can become, a turnaround specialist for a business.
Wow.
You can take a business from some say thousands ranks to the top 10 ranks also. It has happened elsewhere in the world. There are governance professionals who are working in this field. And so it's a big ticket work. So here the company secretary will move out of his traditional area. He will, because governance is our, it's in our DNA.
Yes.
So everything is related to governance. So here the company secretary will get himself engaged. The practicing company secretary will get himself engaged through his firm with various stakeholders. So he knows how the governance setup is being regulated in the country. So how we need to have our engagement process with the regulator. Make sure that all compliances are there, everything is set in. Then comes how your shareholders are being informed, whether the proper democracy, shareholder democracy is being applied by the company. Then comes how your employee engagement process is happening, whether your customers, your suppliers in the value chain, whether you are taking care, whether the ESG principles are followed in the value chain also. Okay. And then ultimately your society, you are doing business in a particular location, or so you have a responsibility to the society also, because any business to survive in the long run, you should have the society also with you. So it's all about, it's a collective effort. So this is where a practicing company secretary brings in a lot of value addition to the business. So here is a big ticket consultant. As I said, he can become a turnaround specialist.
Yes.
Tomorrow you see there are climate, even like a climate consultant. Why can't a company secretary be a climate consultant? So we are taking further steps. This year we are planning to also come out with sequence to this is that we are also working on the engagement toolkits. So engagement toolkits we are planning to release this year, and probably I think mid of this year we are planning this. We are also working on the climate governance also, which is also again becomes part of this initiative itself. So I'm really excited about the work we are doing. So let's hope that our members do use this opportunity and become big consultants in the future.
So, to many more opportunities ahead. This indeed is a futuristic concept, and I hope that all our members will be gearing up to understand the principles and to take them forward. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us on the show.
Thank you very much, Pooja. It was really fun chatting with you.
Thank you. With this, we come to the end of the ICSI Pulse. Think governance, think ICSI.